Do you like movies? Do you like hearing random people talk about movies? Well, then you come to the right place. This is Movie Emporium, a podcast where we talk to you about our thoughts of the world of movies and give you our opinions on the past, present, and future of the film industry itself. Today I'm with Rob. How you doing, Rob?
Yeah, pretty good, yo.
Pretty good?
Yeah,
Pretty good? How was your week? How was it? Was it good?
Pretty good.
Was it exciting?
Pretty good.
Yep. Where's Kermit at, man? I miss Kermit.
Huh? Hi, old Kermit the Frog.
Thank you. I feel better now. So how was your week? Was it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Living here in the future, you know.
Yeah. It's like we were recording just after the last episode we recorded.
I know, but
It's
been,
amazing how...
what, 2 weeks now? 1 week now?
Yeah, it's been like a long time.
Yeah.
I think by the time this appears, Venom will have come out by now.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. I was surprised how great of a movie it was.
I know. I mean that imagination was amazing. That twist. I mean, I had to talk about it on my phone during the movie. It was so exciting.
Yeah. I can't believe they had that one character show up at the end.
I know, the character with the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Adam, how you doing?
That's good. I had to get an enema because of the fucking Venom movie.
I know, right? You thought Slenderman was bad. Wait till you see Venom. Venom put Slenderman on notice. And then the world collapsed and Movie Pass became the president of the United States. It was good times, right?
Yeah, all that.
Yeah, especially that scientific report that came out and said the world was flat.
I know, right? And that, what's that?
At least I bought all that stock in Movie Pass.
I know. It's up to, what, 12 cents a share now?
It's up to, let's see, I can tell you.
Like a penny and a half?
Probably around there. It was like 5 cents a share about a week ago.
Oh, yeah?
And now it's at,
$39.
now it's at 3 cents a share.
Man, you're rich now. So you put like 1,000 shares, so you made like $6?
No, I lost $10. I lost $10 in the last week.
Nice. So, if you guys haven't heard about our podcast before, it's a podcast where we talk movies and movie-related objects and topics. We spend about 30 minutes discussing the world of movies, discussing different things about the world of movies, and I keep saying world of movies for some weird reason. So,
it's the world of movies.
Yes, it's the purge, man. I'm purging myself of the world of movies.
In a world full of movies, one man reviews them.
And one man doesn't watch. And that is me. Because I don't care about movies. That's why I do a movie podcast. Rob, please help me out. Get me out of this dreadful opening. What do you got for a topic?
I have a topic for us.
I know. I'm killing us.
So, in the first couple of episodes, we talked about our top favorite movies of all time that we love the most, that we can't get enough of, that we love to watch over and over again. And so I thought maybe we could list out the movies that we hate. And these aren't movies that's like so bad it's good. These are movies that we saw and just don't ever want to see again. Hate when it's brought up. Hate people mentioning it. Just movies that for whatever reason just rubs you the wrong way.
Can we name this a U-Ball topic?
The over bowl topic.
Uva Bowl.
I'll say one rule, and I say that we don't include The Last Jedi, even though to me that's not a movie I hate. I dislike it, but that way we don't go off on some typical Last Jedi rant cast.
Well, there goes my entire list.
I know. You've disappointed Adam, man. What's wrong with you?
You know.
I mean, it's bad enough that you come on the show and you tell us we can't talk about Last Jedi. I just don't know what to do, man. I'm going to pet my cat.
I would say 99% of podcasts about movie podcasts talk about how much they hate The Last Jedi, except Trench Run, which is a quality Star Wars podcast.
Yeah.
What is this trench run you speak of?
I hear it's about 3 guys that talk about Star Wars, but I wouldn't know because I don't ever listen to them.
Where would I be able to find this if I wanted to listen to
I mean, you could always try Audio Boom. I hear they have a good website there. Maybe some Facebooks.
Audio Boom.
Yeah, Audio Boom, yes. You know, I like them so. I like them so much. I actually put our podcast on there. So, but,
that's lovely. It's like a nice cold drink of water.
Exactly. So, going on to this topic, who wants to go first? You want to go first, Rob, since you came up with the topic?
Sure.
So, what do you got?
So I don't know if we want to go one at a time or you just want me to list off I've got four. I
Okay.
couldn't quite think of five because I think if I really dislike a movie, it almost kind of goes away from my memory. But there's four in particular that I really don't care for.
Yeah, if you wanna name off all four, you can. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
All right. So in no particular order, really. The first one is the Legend of Hercules, which is the 2014. There was two Hercules movies that year. There was one with The Rock, and then there was this one.
Is this the Rennie Harlan
And
movie?
yeah,
Okay.
and so the reason I hate this one the most is, well, it's a terrible movie, but I was pretty much seeing like a movie every weekend or so. Like every movie that had come out, I was just going and seeing movies, and it was fun, and I was enjoying, just checking everything that was out in the theater. And then this movie came out, and it was so bad that about halfway through, I looked down, realizing that I had bought a drink and a popcorn, and I started calculating how much I spent on the movie. It was like $40 or $30 or something.
This is by yourself,
And I
right?
was like, no, I was with Adam, I think.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
Yep.
sorry.
yeah. And so I was like sitting there going, what am I doing with this money that I'm working day after day? And I'm spending it on these movies. And I actually stopped going to the movies except for like really big tentpole movies. That movie actually almost killed me going to the theaters entirely. So that's why I hate that one.
Mm-hmm.
The others,
Real quick, Rob, not to interrupt, just because to point that just so I don't list it during my list, that is also on my list. And I remember at one point during that movie looking over at you and almost asking you, "Do you want to leave?" Because the only reason I didn't leave was because you were there. And it was kind of like, okay, we said we'd go see this movie. Ah, crap. If I was by myself, I would walk out right now.
Oh my God.
I've never walked out of a movie. That's the closest I've ever come to walking out of a movie. But I always, as much as I hate a movie, I always try to finish it. Just because I spent the money, I feel like it would be a waste. I guess I could get a refund if the movie hasn't ended yet. But
Yeah, I think
anyway, so
I think I've only walked out of one movie, but I have that on my list. So
the others I have is I really don't like the movie A Christmas Story. It's like everybody's big favorite Christmas movie. It's on 8,000 times a day.
That's
every
interesting.
day of December, and I just cannot stand that movie.
Is it
And
because
there's so many other
let's say, is it because it's on 8,000 times a year?
that might be, but I just really don't even find the story interesting at all. I feel like there's nothing that happens in the movie. It's like, I mean, I guess it's a slice of life type day in the life of this family,
Oh,
but I would rather see almost any other Christmas movie. I would rather watch Deck the Halls with Danny DeVito
oh God,
than A Christmas Story.
Rob, man, I'm worried about you, man. When you want to admit to watching Deck the Halls over A Christmas Story, I'm like, oh
I would
God.
rather watch. There was like a Lifetime movie that was a complete ripoff of Groundhog's Day,
Oh God.
and I would rather watch that than A Christmas Story.
Damn, that's I don't know what else. I don't know what to say on that because I love that movie.
But I would rather watch A Christmas Story than these other two films, which being two films that tried to take properties that I really enjoyed growing up and just completely ran them through the garbage. The same shit-filled garbage that created Slender Man. If you listen to the last episode, that would be Dragon Ball Evolution,
Oh man.
and that would be the 2016 Ghostbusters movie.
See, I didn't think that one was Ghostbusters was that bad. It wasn't good, but man, it's funny you say
Now-
Dragon Ball because I know how much you love Dragon Ball. So
Yeah, Dragon Ball. I would say Ghostbusters is almost as bad as Dragon Ball Evolution. Dragon Ball is definitely worse, but I think Ghostbusters is close because to me it shows like just a fundamental misunderstanding of what made the first one so popular and great and such like a perfect successful movie. And if they're going to remake it, they essentially created a movie that just like Dragon Ball Evolution, it's only there in the name of the title. Like, there's nothing similar about characters. There's nothing similar about the style of comedy or the style of action or the backstories or anything like that. It's just a complete, like, bumbling attempt to make a movie.
Damn.
In both cases.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that movie until you just said it now. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely correct on every point about that movie.
I mean, you have, so with like Ghostbusters, you have about the worst attempt at trying to be clever with, they have these improv scenes, but they don't go anywhere. They don't lend anything to the story. It's just like babbling about like her Chinese food was bad. And you compare that to the original film where every single piece of dialogue was like carefully crafted. It's not about getting a laugh like right in that moment or any kind of like punchline. It's just an overall like perfectly crafted screenplay. And with the new one, it's just like, well, let's just capitalize on the name, pretty much. And that's and
Well, I remember the first trailer for that. Remember how it said like 30 years ago?
yeah.
And everyone thought it was supposed to be, oh my God, okay, so it's going to be a sequel. And then it was, oh, nope, it's a reboot. It's like they completely just changed direction for no reason. Well, we all know there was a reason, but you know.
And Dragon Ball Evolution was, I mean, that's even worse than Ghostbusters. But Dragon Ball Evolution is basically, admittedly written by somebody who had never heard of Dragon Ball before. So he got this job. Ben Ramsey was the screenwriter. He basically wrote the first draft of the script, turned it in, and they filed it away. And they're like, we're not going to make this garbage. But then the writer's strike came, and so all these studios didn't have anything. They didn't have any screenplays, you know. They had to make something to try to get money for that year. And Dragon Ball Evolution was one of those films that they're like, well, we've got this like first draft of a screenplay, and they basically they produced the movie and they shot it off of the. I'm assuming maybe there could be a couple other drafts, but obviously it was during the writer's strike, so they couldn't do any rewrites or revisions to make it any better. It's kind of what happened with Transformers 2.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that movie. Actually, thank you for reminding me of that movie. It's I think the biggest offenser about Ghostbusters is the fact that the cameos are so misplaced. Like, you have Bill Murray coming in there as a ghost. What is he, like a
debunker?
Yeah, he's a debunker, and then he gets shot out the window, and then Dan Aykroyd.
And he doesn't even want to stand during his scene. He like comes into the room and he sits down in a chair that's in the middle of the room that wasn't there before.
Right.
And he just goes directly to the chair to sit down. So he's like, yeah, I'll be in the movie, but I'm not going to stand.
And then you have Dan Aykroyd as he's just a cabbie, he just pops up. And then Ernie Hudson's the father of the only black woman in the movie. It's just like, come on.
Who actually is probably the best character in the movie. I think her character's probably the most, like, real feeling and relatable, probably.
Yeah.
Everybody else just seems completely phony and poorly written. And I'm sorry, but as anybody who enjoys Ghostbusters and the type of comedy and the iconic comedians that were in that movie that made it popular, to have a movie with the same title that's supposed to be like a quote-unquote remake of it, where 10 minutes into the movie there's jokes about queefing. Like, okay. I tried to, when I sat down and I watched it, I was like, all right, this intro's kind of long and drawn out compared to, you know, the really great library scene. We've got this giant this guy talking about the history of this house, joking about things that have like no bearing on it. It's like, can we just get to where the ghost is? Then you see the ghosts, and then it finally gets to where you meet everybody and there's a queef joke, and I'm like, okay. It's like, well, I know what I'm in store for. So I kind of checked out at that point.
But at least you would watch Christmas Story before Ghostbusters again, right?
Oh yeah, Christmas Story is a masterpiece compared to Ghostbusters.
Oh man, did you have anything else, Rob, or was it just all the only 4 movies that you had?
Uh, those are really the four that I can think about. I mean, there's a lot of movies that I dislike. There's a lot of movies that I've like thought would be pretty cool. I would start watching them on Netflix or whatever, and after like 3 minutes, I end up turning it off. But I think there's as much as there's movies that just don't interest me. There's very few that I think that just give me that strong hatred.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah, I can definitely Ghostbusters is definitely not a good movie, so I definitely understand. So, but we'll move on to you, Adam. What do you got?
I'm not gonna list some of the movies that he listed. I definitely agree with a couple on his list. I would, no particular order, I would say House of the Dead. Love the video game. But then when they came out with the movie, and I keep on, to Robert's point, I keep on forgetting about this movie because of how bad it was. Especially the scenes where they're switching weapons and it goes into like the 3D cameras view where they're switching weapons. And it's just like, what are you doing? It's just from beginning to end, the movie's just like, what is going on? Oh, okay, you're just making a movie to show boobs.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
Movie bowl.
Yeah. Then there's the Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg movie. That's my boy. I hate that movie. I just don't like it at all. I can't stand it.
But would you rather watch that over Jack and Jill?
I've actually never seen Jack and Jill.
Oh, okay.
You might have another
So I
movie to
can't-
hate.
So I can't put it on my list. It's one of those things that people tell me to stay away from, and so a lot of the people that I actually, listen to and have a lot of the same movie opinions, they're telling me don't watch it, so I wouldn't. But I just can't stand That's My Boy. It's a stupid, it's kind of like, okay, let's just make a movie and make some money, guys. Let's just get some known actors in there and let's do this.
That's every Adam Sandler
another-
movie.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, he did make, like Happy Gilmore.
Oh yeah,
I like Happy Gilmore, Mr. Deeds.
the original Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, those were good.
Yeah, I think he fell off
and then when he got...
I think he fell off a cliff when he did Click after Click.
Well, didn't Bedtime Stories come out after Click?
Once again, he fell off a cliff after Click. Bedtime Stories I did not like at all. So.
Well, see, I thought it was okay. Like for a kids movie, I thought it was okay. But as like as a regular movie, I was like, yeah. But as a kid movie, I thought it was okay. Alone in the Dark.
Oh Jesus.
Nevi Uwe movie. I can't really remember much from that movie. I think I've just completely blacked that out. I just remember Steven Dorff and Tara Reid. And I just was just like, I can't really remember much from that movie. I know I've seen it at least twice. Well, at least once all the way through, and then pieces here and there. But I can't really remember much about that movie because I just couldn't stand it that much.
Yeah, when I was working at a movie theater, I built that print, and it was like 4 reels long. That's how bad it was.
Yeah. Now on the list, Slender Man. The reason why this movie is on my hated list is because there are a lot of talented people out there that I can see making shorts that, one, don't get the chance, or two, won't ever get a chance to make a movie. And then you have a director that's able to make this that just has horrible shots. The editing's horrible. I mean, there's one scene, a car turns down the road, and they look away, and they look back, and the car is gone. There's reflections, and it's just... The story, the writing was bad. You never know who they're switching main characters back. There's 2 girls. Well, there's 4 girls in the group, but the main character is the one girl at the beginning, and then it switches to a different one in the middle, and then switches back to her, and the other one back at the end. The girl gets ripped through a window that a second, before was wide open because she tried to kill herself by jumping out of it. But now she gets ripped out the window and it's magically closed. I mean, there's so much, from start to finish, there's so many people in that movie that drop the ball.
Characters just disappear in the movie.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys.
There's so many people that. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just saying. Let me ask you guys this question. I went to see it because I reviewed it for our YouTube channel. But what made you guys want to see this movie? Because I have this movie on my list as well. That's the reason I'm asking.
One, it was free.
Okay.
And two, when original Slender Man came out, I liked the lore behind it. I played the video game. I knew about it before the video game came out. With putting in the photos and everything, and I like kind of the lore behind it. Thought it was interesting. I haven't really seen in the trailers about this movie. Haven't really heard anything about this movie. And then it was, there was no other movies really that I could use towards my 3 free movies. So I was just like, hey, Rob, you want to go see this movie?
Yeah,
I was bored. It was free.
I was say you should probably have been better off just seeing Mission Impossible again.
I've been better sleeping.
Yeah.
You've been better sleeping with on a bed of needles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Adam. You can continue. I didn't mean to cut you off. So
That's okay. Well, the reason why that made me upset, just is because there's so many talented people out there, and then it essentially you get people who get a couple $1 million to make a movie, and it's like, wow, I know shorts on zero budget that are 1,000 times better than this.
yeah, exactly.
I'll do 2 more. One would be the Fantastic Four remake. The reason why this upsets me is because I kind of like the people, I kind of like the people they cast with for everybody. At first I was kind of like, and then I got to know, I was like, okay, I can kind of see this. But it was 2 different movies. So the movie literally changed about I want to say like half hour into it, where it went from, okay, this is going on. Oh, they have superpowers, and completely different movie now. So it was just like after the powers. They got all the character development wrong. They got Doom right because the hatred and everything towards everybody, but they pretty much got all the character development wrong. Everything that was going on. And I was just like, really, guys? I know you have to spit out like a new movie, not so you don't lose the property rights, but you can do better than this. And it was just, I remember like Rotten Tomatoes, it was like a 14, and I think Rob and I went to go see it, and I'm just kind of like, hey, Rob, can it really be that bad? And yes, it was really that bad.
I was say, did you hear the screenwriter apologized for that movie just recently?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he got hired to do the adaptation for the Tommyknockers. And he's just going like there's this episode of The Simpsons where Lisa's watching The Postman, and in commentary Kevin Costner's going, I'm sorry, and it's like, it's pretty funny. It reminded me of that. But yeah, he came out just recently and said, man, it was fucked up and it wasn't a good shoot. And
that's what Ben Ramsey apologized about.
Oh yeah,
Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah, sometimes it's not their fault. Sometimes they get the script taken away from them and fucked up. So.
And the last one I would say is Batman and Robin. So that's the one with George Clooney.
Bat nipples.
Yeah. That movie was just horrible. It essentially killed that entire franchise. It was already on its way down a little bit, but it killed the franchise of that. It started off so great with Michael Keaton. And then when Michael Keaton was like, hey, I don't want to come back. I kind of don't like where you're going with the third movie. Val Kilmer, and it's bad when you get in there and the movie's not as good as Batman, with Val Kilmer. So, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't think he's a bad actor, but it was just like one-liners and puns throughout the entire movie. And at the very last, when he gives the cure to Batman to give to Alfred, and he's like, take 2 of these and call me in the morning. Ho ho ho. Yeah, I was kind of like, just shoot me. Just shoot me in the face right now. And it was just like neon signs everywhere, and everything was going. It was just too much everywhere.
I think by the time they got to Batman and Robin, they cared more about action figures and having things in the movies that could be marketed toward kids for toys and Happy Meals than they actually did whatever the story was about. I think they let's see what we can sell for toys.
Yeah, they came out with that's when every Batman action figure was coming out. It was like, get him in his cold suit, get him in his regular suit, get him in his neon suit. Get the Batmobile, get the Batwing, and then get the Batman Zamboni. And it was just kind of like, oh my gosh.
Was that the one where he had the Bat credit card? Is that Batman, Robin, or Forever? When he pulls out the Bat credit card?
I want to say that was Batman Forever.
Okay. It was like I'm like, man, this shit's gone.
Or it could have been. I don't know. There was some issues with Batman Forever.
Yeah.
I'll get drive-through.
Yeah.
That was that was Batman Forever was the drive-through because that was the commercial.
Yeah, it's a McDonald's commercial.
You remember those old Batman commercials for like Batman 2 where you could get like the collector cups?
Yeah.
From, like McDonald's?
Oh my god. No, I don't remember that, but it doesn't surprise me. It's like when Phantom Menace came out and like Taco Bell and Pizza Hut and all these places had like little pogs that they were giving out. So
Star Wars Pogs. Now there's Star Wars Porgs.
You know what the problem with Star Wars is? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, I have a couple other movies that I dislike. I wouldn't say hate, but dislike. Like the new remake of Catwoman, I disliked with Halle Berry. Norbit, I disliked. Son of the Mask, I disliked.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I did too. I tried to forget about it.
Showgirls was, I mean, I think it's hysterical when you see it on TBS or whatever movie it is, or TV channel it is, because they do like the animated underwear now. So it's like hysterical when you see it on television, because it's like just black bars, but they try to make it like underwear, which is hysterical.
That movie's all hysterical.
And then Blood Rain, another Uwe movie, which you take a video game character that everyone loves, and then you just and I'm not going to really talk about the scene. Rob knows about the scene I'm talking about. There's a scene in that movie that should not be in that movie, and the only reason why that movie was in there was so Uwe Boll could see the lead actress's boobs.
Yeah, that's pretty much all his movies. I think he just wanted to see boobs. I don't even think he cared about making the movies. He just wanted to see female boobs.
At least he doesn't have money to make movies anymore.
Yeah, he's too busy boxing people. All right, so my list is not too long, but I'll start out. I was going to put Pulp Fiction on here, and I realized I don't hate that movie. I just don't like it, and I don't want to get a lot of flack for it, because I usually do.
You would have.
Yes, a lot of flack. So I love. There's some scenes I love in that movie. So number 1, The Happening.
Is that the Wind movie?
Yes,
trees.
The trees.
Trees are killing us.
The Mark Wahlberg doing Mark Wahlberg, and oh god, that's like the low point for M. Night Shyamalan.
That was a low point.
Yes,
That's
very.
It's like I gotta do Unbreakable too.
Yeah, I'm like I can stand somewhat Lady in the Water and whatever garbage he came out before that, but yeah, Happening's like I don't know what the fuck they were thinking.
Well, he did Village before that. I kind of liked The Village.
It was good up till the ending when you find out it was in modern day. I'm like, and then you see M. Night as the
spoilers.
I refuse to not give spoilers for that movie. So.
Well, see, I liked it where the elders were actually the monsters.
Yeah.
But yes, the present day thing, it was kind of like, really? But, I mean, they could have done that completely differently.
Yeah. But it was like...
I did like it how the elders were the monsters.
Yeah, and Joaquin Phoenix was like a mentally challenged person. I don't know what was going on with that movie. So number 2 is Volcano, the Tommy Lee Jones movie that came out in 97. Let's see what happens when we throw lava into Los Angeles. I mean, the movie's so bad I almost walked out of it.
I just remember the trailer said Volcano, and then all the letters disappeared, and it said L.A.
Yeah, this movie's so bad. Oh my god. Slender Man, of course, we talked about that many times. Number 4 is Yoga Hosers, the Kevin Smith movie that's so bad that I don't understand what he was thinking when making it. But now
I couldn't even finish it.
Yeah, it was like worse than Tusk, and I didn't like Tusk.
I did. I just watched that the other day, and it was pretty bad.
Oh, see, and Netflix has that on my, hey, we suggest you should watch this movie, and it's at like a 30-some% that I would like it.
Just put a hot spoon on your tongue. It's more interesting.
Oh god. So I also have Pay It Forward, the Kevin Spacey, Haley Joel Osment, Helen Hunt movie that was so bad.
Oh, where he gets stabbed and killed at the end.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna throw in this like melancholy story about people trying to kill themselves, and then we're just gonna kill off the lead character at the end. It was fucking disgusting and bad. And the movie I walked out of is Legend of Bagger Vance. Have you guys seen this movie?
I actually really like that movie.
Do you really? I hate this movie so much.
I've never watched it. Is that Will Smith?
Yeah.
It's because you're racist.
Probably. I probably am. But yeah, no, I thought it was boring, and I thought Matt Damon was boring, and I thought the whole movie was boring. Matt Damon. And
Is that the one where he's a golfer?
yeah, it's the one where he's drunk and Will Smith's supposed to play God or something like that, and he's like his cat.
He does not play God. He plays Jiminy Cricket.
Oh yeah, the black Jiminy Cricket is who he plays.
Yeah, he plays the golf against Walter Hagen and Bobby Jones.
Yeah. But the last movie I have on here is Transformers: Revenge of the Testicle Destructors or whatever they were called, Constructicons. Was it Devastator?
Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
And he had the two wrecking balls.
Yes.
That's his balls.
Yes. And if you go and ride the ride at Universal Studios, you can still see his balls. I'm like, why did they even put this in here? So, yeah, that movie, we all know that movie's bad. It's terrible. It's one of the worst movies ever made. I don't understand why they made it. So, but I'm sure there's more movies that I could put on this list that I forgot about. So, but yeah, that's some really terrible ones that I think are terrible at least. So, but yeah, did you guys have anything else at all? Anything you want to talk about before we head out?
No.
Well, so these bad movies, like, just because I thought about it now, Tusk, and how it's like Netflix put it on my, hey, we think you'll enjoy this movie, and it's like at a 38% on my list. Have you guys been having any of that on Netflix?
I don't remember. I get stuff, but I can't remember what I get, unfortunately.
I get suggestions about like Netflix movies sometimes, and they have good trailers, which is probably something we should talk about in the future, in a future episode.
I know.
And I'm like, hey, this looks good. I watch it, and I'm like, nope, and I click it off.
Well, we actually got to talk about that too. Maybe not in the next episode, but maybe in the future. We got to talk about how bad Netflix movies really are. Because there's like a 9-to-1 ratio of bad to good Netflix movies.
Yeah.
But, oh well. So, I think that we'll go ahead and end this episode for today. Rob, if they want to find you, if they want to tell you bad stories about Slenderman, where can they find you?
You can go on to the YouTubes, search my name, Robert Dodrell, or you can go on Instagram at Cell Reborn.
Awesome. And Adam, if they just want to pet you and hug you and congratulate you for your weight loss, where can they find you?
You can find me on IMDb under Adam Ray, or 8283 Productions on Facebook and YouTube.
Awesome. And as always, you can find me at Big Shadow 1138. Check out our YouTube channel. We have all good stuff like reviews and podcasting and all that good stuff, and Audio Boom and Facebook and Twitter and email at nlapola113@gmail.com and monotones and good stuff. So with that, we'll go ahead and head out, and we'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Queef jokes.